let's talk Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Because it kind of opens the door to the rookie quarterbacks. We've seen 2 games each from Caleb Williams, from Jayden Daniels, 1st and 2nd overall, and Bo Nix, 12th overall. And listen, I understand Bears fans might be panicked, and I do see they are panicked, a lot of them, because Caleb didn't come out of the box looking like Patrick Mahomes. Okay? I didn't expect him to come out of the box looking like Patrick Mahomes. By the way, Patrick Mahomes didn't come out of the box looking like Patrick Mahomes in his rookie season. You know why?
Yes.
He came out of the box looking like Drake May, standing on the sidelines.
Yep.
Drake May?
Earpiece.
Okay? That's how Mahomes started. And the Chiefs had the benefit of A, not drafting Mahomes 1st overall, and B, having Alex Smith. And so what's going to happen is Caleb Williams is going to go out there and take his lumps. I will remind everybody in Chicago, if you're saying this, and this has to do with every rookie quarterback that has come out and not looked like either a Heisman Trophy winner or, in the case of Nix, like a guy who's played 61 collegiate games. Marshall Faulk tells the story all the time. Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his rookie season, and every single time he said the same thing. Marshall said as he was running off the field, Peyton Manning was saying, I didn't think he could get there, meaning the defender who caught the ball and picked it off, he threw it in a way that he thought the defender would never be able to get there, let alone pick it off. And Marshall, after a while, finally said to Peyton Manning, Peyton, this is the NFL. They can all get there. And Caleb, this is the NFL. They can all get to you. All of them. Doesn't help that Keenan Allen isn't out there either. And guess what? Caleb looked better this week. And I know he threw 2 interceptions. He improved. I think he looked better this week than he did week 1.
The play that he made before the 2nd interception was incredible. To get away from the defender, got his shirt ripped, rolls to the right as 3 guys chasing him. It just got picked off.
I know that, and you know, you gotta put it in perspective.
It's the second game.
You're in the second game. You're 1-1. You did win the first one, and Caleb Williams has an incredible skill set. Now, the one thing I will just say is, as he was getting his behind beaten, I mean, the Texans got after it. And they got clear shots on him. And if you're in the offensive line room this week, this is going to be a very difficult tape. I mean, I think one time, I think he wore a Danielle Hunter on him.
That's the designer.
Danielle Hunter just enveloped him. Will Anderson got him. They kept getting him. And the blitz, when they blitzed him, I mean, there was a great moment on the Sunday night game with their segment, their new gen stats segment, that Chris Collinsworth nailed it. When they blitzed him, they got to him. And when they didn't, he looked terrific. Now, that means expect more blitzes. And if you got a team like Houston, they're really good at it. And they've got talented players all over the place. And we may find out by the end of the year, this was one of the best defenses in the NFL, let alone the AFC, and certainly the AFC South, which, by the way, the Texans lead significantly right now, and we'll get to that in a minute. But in the same way that Matt Eberflus was commending his quarterback, his rookie quarterback, for having excellent demeanor and body language and disposition coming off of the Week 1 win, despite it being very difficult for Caleb Williams, this screenshot concerns me, where his head is back and he's just like, this is the longest day of my life. Like, this is Utah on steroids. They don't hit like this in the Pac-12. By the way, and I tweeted this out last night, and I get a lot of people, well, look at the Utah tape. Folks, Utah is not the Houston Texans. Those were some grown-ass men going after Caleb. And if you're a teammate and you look at Caleb looking like that, he's got a C on his chest. He's the quarterback of the Chicago Bears. No matter how wiped out he is and how crushed he is, this is just not the best look. It just isn't. And he'll learn from it. And by all accounts, he wasn't showing anybody else up. And this is what he had to say after the game. He just hits every point right. But even, there's going to be more days like these for Caleb Williams. Because the division games are coming.
Yeah.
And Aiden Hutchinson's coming. And he had 5 sacks at Baker Mayfield yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay? Aiden's coming twice.
With bad intentions.
The Packers are coming twice. The Vikings are coming twice. And for the Chicago Bears, Josh Hines Allen is coming once. Okay? So, at one point, Nick Bosa's coming for him. It's all coming.
Well, Sean Gary's coming again.
Twice. Right. Either it's all going to happen. But he survived it. They're 1-1, and this is what he had to say after the game.
Not coming out with a win, not executing, when we needed to as a team. Myself throwing 2 interceptions. It's not something that I've done. Something that I do is turn the ball over. It's not really my thing. So, I think those things probably the things that I'm most, frustrated about. Understanding it's a long season, understanding that it's week 2, understanding that we're going to respond, and just get better every day, get better at practice, all these different things throughout the weeks, attention to details and things like that.
There you go.
You could screen cap anything though and make it look bad.
Yeah, watching that, I think that was just like a split second.
No, and I know that, and I understand that, and I understand that he could have gotten up and he could have rallied the troops right after that, and just like had that moment. It's captured, and I'm picking and choosing. I'm just using that as a moment of can't even have that for a split second. You just can't.
Why? You can't just sit down at maybe he just got sacked for the 7th time and sat down and
frustrated.
Was like, and then got right back up. That's literally like a split second.
And I'll just, again, I can only describe what I do for a living. Clearly, I'm not getting my ass beat and tarred. Okay? I'm not. But I understand when I'm on the set of game day morning or on the set here, if I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I can't show it. And there are times when I do, and I feel bad. I do. I'm just counseling.
He's a kid.
Rather than criticizing.
He's a kid in his second
I know.
game. I think he gets the ultimate.
That's
the ultimate pass.
But hear what I'm also saying. You heard what I said around it, right? Like the good news is he's going through it. The good news is he takes the hard coaching apparently very well. The good news is he's humble. And that's what you want to see out of your quarterback. But, again, the coach talked about disposition, and that was just a moment in time. I'm just sort of counseling that. And I just want to throw this out there. And I know I'm doing this on the fly, so you'll have to bear with me just to bring this all full circle right here, the way I started this segment here. Let me go for it. All right. So Mahomes was drafted in 2017, right?
Correct.
How would he have looked if he played the first 2 games at New England and home for Philadelphia? Right?
Well, probably pretty good, because didn't they beat New England by like 30 that game?
They beat New England 42-27, but part of that might have been because Alex Smith could see what Belichick was cooking up. How was Belichick against rookie quarterbacks, Chris?
Very good.
Right.
Yeah, very good.
So I think I'm trying to make a point here. Every single time I'm making a negative point, you're highlighting it. I'm making a positive point, and you're pushing back. Honestly, had Mahomes started at New England and home for Philadelphia, he might not have looked like he did against Denver in week 17.
Rookie quarterbacks traditionally stink.
And in that respect, too, Jayden Daniels seems to be running way too much. He got hurt at one point, had to come out of the game.
Yeah,
Jeff Driscoll came in there. Yeah. I thought that was a big problem.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix, man. I know I said I saw a lot to like with him. I'm concerned that in the same way what's going on with the offensive line up front, for Chicago. They've got to play better. The run game is non-existent. There's Cortland Sutton and a bunch of guys that don't appear to be able to separate. The defense has got to be looking around saying, we are balling out. We could be 2-0, and we are not. You know, they came out like a house of fire against Geno Smith last week. Geno's now 2-0. And, you know, Sean Payton is just probably sitting there and doing the Coach Dale thing, which is just waving his game plan to the howling masses right now and say, that's my guy. And Jared Stidham might be sitting there saying, we could at least win some games here. And that's not the point. They used the 12th overall pick on this kid who, in his best drive of the game, threw an interception in the end zone. And he sounds like he's probably hearing it from his coach, and he knows he's hearing it from the fans right now. Listen to this soundbite from the rookie Bo Nix after he started 0-2.
Bo, can you take us through the interception in the end zone?
Drop back, threw it to the other team.
Okay, then.
I mean, that's kind of funny. That is what happened.
But again, I'm not an all-22 guy. How many of his weapons are separating for him? How many of the running backs are just taking the pressure off in the same way Green Bay did Malik Willis yesterday? How many of them? I'm still waiting. It's Bueller. It's crickets. So right now the rookie quarterbacks are 2 games under 500 because Bo Nix is yet to win, and the other guys are 500 through 2. Patience, everyone. Patience. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.